So June was chaos, everyone was busy, but somehow we still made major progress, from AI systems and combat prototypes to world building and even character rewrites. Today I'm walking you through exactly what we've been working on, what's shifted, and what's next. Welcome back to this June devlog for the Shattered Crown. This past month has been quite busy for a lot of us on the team, with some of us being away for at least half the month, so I'm actually quite pleased with a lot of the work that we managed to get done. First up, the ability system. We sketched out the core framework in the last devlog, so that was May, and we spent June prototyping and building out upon that. And right now, we're working out how to deliver it in a way that actually feels fun. Not just technically functional, but also something you'd want to mess with. The combat prototype's been coming along too. We've got melee tracing in, and we've just tested the core loop, and everything seems to be working quite nicely. It's still early, but it's already feeling so much sharper than it did last month. Things are moving nicely here. With regards to AI, being a small indie team, we cannot afford to make great big vast complicated behavior trees for every single possible type of NPC and AI and all of their different perks and idiosyncrasies. That's not in our bandwidth or our budget. So we're making a scalable AI system. We're looking to define AI behaviors and reuse them across multiple enemy types, rather than rebuilding the wheel every single time. The first type, if you like, will be just the basic common RPG grunt AI. They patrol a certain area, they attack you when you intrude upon it, maybe they run away if you hit them too hard, and that's about it. But then we're also going to be working on adding bosses and super bosses and ultra bosses and even the antagonists, the characters that are the bad guys. Now, these ones will have increasing levels of complexity, ranging from just having a few additional attacks and maybe an ability to use, all the way up to being able to probably use the full-blown combat system complete with magic, abilities, as well as understanding status effects and hopefully even interpreting the player's attacks and strategies and adapting to them. But no promises just on that one, that's a bit complicated and we're not quite sure how far we'll take that. In terms of terrain, we started building an AutoMaterial system. You know, these things are quite complex and they're quite expensive, and we'd hope to make our own AutoMaterial system using all of the latest features of Unreal Engine and optimized, and then release it on Fab to all of you guys for free, completely, forever. However, it was a bit of a time sink and we weren't getting the results that we wanted, so we've ended up using Brushify. It's cleaner, it's a lot faster than what we had, and it's way more usable as well. So that shift is already speeding things up for our level design. I'm sorry we couldn't give you a free level tool, maybe that will come later. With that happening, we were also working on assembling our level design toolkit, getting it ready to actually build out the maps. Part of that is also just doing the homework, looking at what other games and tools are doing so that we can build a world that feels interactive and alive without overloading the player. So this means we're looking to basically make a world that's open and explorable with lots of interactions, but without being too big and inaccessible. We've also got to be mindful of the fact that we are an indie team and building maps, big open world maps, is a big commitment. So we're looking at interesting ways that we can build them. We're thinking to look a bit more at what Final Fantasy 16 has been doing and similar games, is build maps that are generally smaller than the traditional open world map, but they focus on a particular area, and when joined together in lots of ways, if the fast travel is seamless enough, it actually feels like just one big continuous open world map without all of the bloat in between that you get in real life. On the narrative side, we've been tweaking the main cast, Everyone's personalities is getting a little bit more distinct, less placeholder, more alive, more unique. Just reworking small idiosyncrasies into each character, tweaking things that didn't quite fit their whole persona. And a couple of them also got new names. So the main protagonist was previously known as Noxlaxor Ultima Space, and he is now called Lucen Undor Spanox. And another friend of his, who was named as Carl Adair, has become Bram Rian Adair. It's just fits a little bit better with their personalities and what they stand for. Combat design has also shifted. We want it to be deep and skill based. Well, it's not supposed to be a second job. You shouldn't go away from it with homework to learn all of the bits and pieces about it, but rather that anybody can use it and that it's a bonus to use skill to make it better and more effective, and that's what we're aiming for. You should be able to jump in, get good, and enjoy the progress. So that's what we're working towards. We're also picking the story apart piece by piece, tightening the pacing, fixing flow issues, and planning out where the deeper lore threads can be dropped in. So we want something that's satisfying on a first playthrough, but with lots and lots and lots, tons of hidden details for people to go and explore later on, or even in their first playthrough if you're that kind of player. Cutscenes are being tidied up as well, and we're figuring out how to streamline the whole storyline process, that pipeline from start to finish, without losing any emotion. It's an interesting journey this is, and it's going along quite nicely. The story's gradually getting a lot more cohesive, the flow is getting better, and the pacing more consistent. In terms of world building, the lore gives us a map of around about 500 million square kilometers, and that's just not feasible for an indie team. It's not really even feasible for a AAA developer. So we're not going to be making all of it explorable. We're looking at probably somewhere between 3,000 and 13,000 square kilometers. It's a pretty big range, but that's because we're not quite sure how we're going to be able to do these maps and what our support and bandwidth is going to be on these. So that will change as we get closer to. However, the full 500 million square kilometers you will still be able to get a feel for the scale of, because it's going to be designed where fast travel gives you an indication of the distance. You're going to feel it in the game. The maps and the lore will make references to it, and you should see it on big world maps and in the cutscenes and the storyline. So it's not just a thing that supposedly exists. You should really feel it, even if you can't explore it all. And that pretty much wraps it up for June. It's been a quietly busy month, lots and lots of behind the scenes and planning, but all of that stuff is important, laying groundwork for what's coming. July, we're hoping, is going to be a lot more hands-on. We're hoping to get a lot of the first environments and maps out and prototyped, ready to show. That's looking exciting. If you're an artist, we could really use some help in making 3D models or putting together the environments and levels, so feel free to get in contact with us. Otherwise, thank you for sticking with us. If you wanted to join the Discord, there'll be links in the description. We post there some minor updates, little tidbits and sneak peeks. We talk with the community. If you're interested about anything, just join us and send us a message there. And if you're working on your own project, good on you. Even show us what you're doing. We would love to see it. So check out all the links in the description. Share us with your friends and family. Help spread the word and really helps us with our development. And that will be all from me until next month. Thanks for following along. I'm Natsuya, and I'll see you next time.